Too hot for TV.
Welcome back to Doctor Who Too Hot for TV, and it's the festive Advent Calendar edition. Every day this month, I'll be exploring a different Advent Calendar story with a different guest, and today is the turn of John Isles. John, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for asking me on to do this, Dylan. This is my first time ever discussing a Christmas Doctor Who annual on a podcast.
Amazing. Well, we've picked a doozy today to explore. So we're going to be doing Mission for Duh, which was part of the Doctor Who Annual 1967 and released in September of 1966. But before we jump into that, I need to know, do annuals, Doctor Who or otherwise, play any part in your childhood life or adult life?
The annuals do play a part in my childhood life, but it's not getting them for Christmas. There's maybe one or two I got for Christmas. The most memorable was the Return of the Jedi, which was, I think, a UK hardback reprint of the Return of the Jedi Marvel comic.
Right, yeah.
So that would have been Christmas '83, and
I think I have.
and I've still got it. It's on a shelf somewhere behind me. I loved it. I must have read that a lot over the years. So that's my favourite one. But actual annual, probably things like the Eagle annual I got in the late '80s, 2000 AD in the '90s, but I was an adult then. And as for childhood, it was things like picking up old stuff like Victor, Warlord, things like that from jumble sales in the
Yeah.
mid '80s. So I got a lot of those. Probably never read them anymore. I really should get rid of them, but probably bringing the rafters down in my loft as we speak. So yeah, I have no nostalgia for Doctor Who annuals. I wasn't a fan of Doctor Who until I was in my late teens.
Right,
So
yeah.
and by then the annuals had stopped, because wasn't it the Colin Baker one? Was that the last one we did?
Yeah.
85, 86?
Yeah.
So yeah, I picked up stuff like that as an adult fan, but otherwise I have no nostalgia. Sorry.
No, that's fine. As I said, we're doing Mission for Duh, which is a William Hartnell First Doctor story. So presumably you've not read this before.
No, I'd never heard of it. I recognise the artwork for the cover.
Yeah.
The sort of cavemen, pterodactyls, and the TARDIS and Hartnell.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's all I really know about this annual before this.
Yeah, I've got no idea whether those green cavemen and pterodactyls actually appear in the annual.
They're not on the internal illustrations for any
No,
story that I can
no.
tell.
And we've got two sort of unknown... is that John and Gillian, I suppose, in the
Well, I'm
the
not
front
sure, because
illustration?
they would have belonged to whoever on TV comic at the time, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So they probably didn't have the rights to anybody other than the Doctor and the TARDIS.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, it's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, well, quite. Good old Doctor Who. So, no, in fact, I don't think there's even illustrations of any companions within the book.
No, there's just people he meets in the story, so I guess story companions. Because in one of them, I had a glance through, one of them, he's with a family, a sort of group of explorers that have some children with them. And
Yeah.
they met before this story, and remember TARDIS taking them home for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, it must be quite hard to write a story without a proper companion.
Well, yeah, and I think he does struggle, but he gets a pseudo-companion in this, but spoilers, everybody.
Yeah, duh.
So, Doctor Who heads/returns to the planet Burr.
Yeah.
Which is not a planet I'm particularly familiar with myself, but...
No. I wonder,
sure.
is Burr some plant-related thing? Because obviously these plant aliens are called verdants.
Yeah, maybe. So he lands on this planet, and he can't believe it. Everything green has gone.
Shock.
I know. But is it, when he says everything green, is he referring specifically to the plant life? Or, like, if someone was wearing a green jumper, green M&Ms, that sort of thing, are they all gone?
Maybe. Maybe, because, I mean, obviously this is on audio, but if people care to look at their copies, they'll see it's just a rocky, barren landscape, isn't it?
It is indeed. And I think they capture the rocky, barren landscape quite well, you know?
They do.
It feels pretty desolate. It probably looks better than a lot of the rocky, barren landscapes that you're going to get on TV. So the Doctor's walking through a barren landscape, and he's spotted by some bald creatures, some bald men by the looks of it, with pointy ears.
Yeah.
And they think he's a creature from a blue box, so they open a trap and he falls in a hole.
Yeah, they dug a hole just in case any people do come along.
Yeah. Whatever people it may be.
Because they've not found anyone on the planet. It's
Yeah.
deserted for them.
Now, these are a highly intelligent race
Mhm.
called the Rostros, who can create spaceships and fly through space.
Yeah.
But they do believe that the Doctor's walking stick is a deadly weapon.
Yeah, we said how we got his weapon. It's a walking stick.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, they didn't invent walking sticks on their planet.
Well, yeah, maybe they never have any problems with walking or bad backs or anything like that. So they capture Doctor Who, take him to their spaceship, where he notices that they've taken some of the Verdants prisoner. But they're mistaken, because they just think, oh, it's just plants. And it turns out we're on a planet that's filled with an ardent sci-fi cliche of living plants. Obviously, this sets the cat amongst the pigeons, and the Doctor and his new pal Durr are sent on a mission to try and find the rest of the Verdant people who have apparently disappeared underground.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've got an underground city that the Doctor remembers from his last visit.
Yeah, so they're going to sort it out. What do we think of the pseudo-companion, much like Michelle Ryan in Planet of the Dead? We've got...
He doesn't do much, really.
No.
Is he a scientist? Is he an engineer? It doesn't really say.
Chef? Who knows?
But he is the entire justification for the title, really.
Yeah.
It's an odd one. In fact, I've written in my notes here, try and make a joke/pun about Homer Simpson. And I couldn't think of one.
No, but I get it. Mission for... There we go. I'll sort that out. So they go into this underground city. At this point, I'm reminded a little bit of the opening episodes of The Chase when they're on Iridius.
Oh, I was thinking of The Rescue.
Ah.
But yeah, both work.
So they pull open this door. They head into the city. They're immediately tied up by some plants.
Yeah.
And then a big plant comes, a big flower, who is their chief executioner.
Why have they got an executioner?
I know. I thought, why do plants need to execute anybody?
Who? I mean, if they are the only species, intelligent life on this planet, why have they got an executioner?
Yeah.
Sorry, a chief executioner.
Yeah, so there's other executioners.
Maybe apprentice executioners. and I wish by chance it had looked like a Triffid, but I'm afraid it doesn't, does it?
It doesn't quite have that Triffid.
No, it's got some
energy.
Big yellow petals. It's not as threatening as a Triffid.
So, fortunately, the Doctor remembers that they're very sensitive to sound.
Are plants sensitive to sound?
I mean, sure, why not? And so they both shout loudly. The Doctor shouts, "Yeah!" and Duh shouts, "Wow, wow, wow." I mean, sure.
Shakespearean dialogue.
If I asked you to shout now, I think most people would just go, "Ah!"
Yeah.
These guys, they've
got... I wonder if he's "yeah" is that, but they've just that's how we chosen to spell it phonetically. Because "duh" is an alien. He also makes an alien shouting of "wow, wow."
So they escape the clutches of the chief executioner, and the Doctor says we've got to find Fledge, which sounds like a toilet cleaner.
That's what it reminded me of.
Who is the only Verdant who can communicate? Presumably the Verdants can communicate with each other.
Yeah, I think so. One that can speak, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, how would the chief executioner know he was an executioner if they couldn't talk to each other? So they run through the caverns. They're being chased. Durr gets caught up in some barbs, but his uniform protects him. Then they find Fledge, who is like, "Oh, it's you, Doctor Who." Well, he says, "Why? You are Doctor Who."
Yes, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
And he explains their mission and what's happened, and that it's all been a big misunderstanding. And all the plants return to the planet's surface, and the Doctor goes off, and Duh says goodbye and thank you for solving our problem. "You are all friends now. That is my reward. Goodbye," says Doctor Who. And that is the end of the tale.
Solved in 2 panels.
I know, impressive stuff. Wrapped up very quickly. The fact that the first page is just the Doctor wandering around the planet, but they don't feel the need to give that much time to the resolution.
Yeah, have we got to the end and gone, damn, I've got to wrap this up. It's like, shit, I've reached the end of 6 pages.
So what do we think of the storytelling here? What do we think of the I guess it's the economy of the storytelling more than anything.
Yeah, so my knowledge and experience of these and any annual stories, like maybe not the war comics, but certainly of things like Blake 7 or other Doctor Who annuals, it's just like whoever the author is, because we don't know who wrote or drew this.
No.
This maybe for good reason. No, not really. I know the real reason. But anyway, it's kind of like, have they even watched the program? We just tell generic stories.
Yeah.
To entertain. Are they writing down for the kids?
Yeah.
You know.
It's a very innocent sort of storytelling.
Yeah.
And Doctor Who is very good at telling stories for children throughout its 62-year history. But I do think this is the most child-friendly version, or the most simplistic version. And as you say, I think it was writing down. I think whereas the people writing Doctor Who on the TV at the time weren't writing down for kids, if anything, they were pushing the boundaries of what you can do for kids. This is just going, it's for kids. It'll do.
Yeah, because it's like, you can imagine this person be writing, I don't know, a Roy Rogers annual, and then the next stage writing a Doctor Who one, and it's probably just the same stories, just with names changed. It's just, I mean, some of the TV comic stories had more depth to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like, why did the BBC keep renewing their license? I know the producers must have had some say over the stories, but they don't seem to have made any effort to make them like the TV show, have they? A bit like the sort of the infamous Troughton one going, "Die, hideous creature, die," isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like there's no quality control.
No, absolutely. And there's certainly no brand management going
No,
on.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it needs somebody just to cast an eye on it and go, I'm not sure the Doctor... And weirdly, in the Barry Letts era, he's the first one that sort of goes, you need to do a bit better. But it doesn't improve that much.
Is that when they put the Master into it? What the TV comic was called? What was it? Countdown? Whichever one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit more. And putting Joe in, was it?
Yeah, I think so. What do we think of the characterization of the Doctor in this story?
Well, if I could picture it in my head, I could hear Hartnell saying it, but it's generic, really. There's nothing. He's just kind of, I guess, explorer, adventurer.
Yeah.
Not very square jawed, but just like, oh, I remember being here before. Oh, I've just remembered that they don't like loud noises. It just doesn't feel very like the Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see some, like, just as easily, like a Robinson Crusoe annual or something, where it's this
Star
story.
Trek, even,
But the Robinson Crusoe is just an island full of primitive natives of some sort, and then Star Trek doing the same thing. And then our alien races, what do we think of them?
Well, the Rostros are clearly from Planet of the Slapheads. I wonder if Rostro is another plant-based pun, or just picked a random word that sounded alien.
Vaguely
alien. Again, they don't do much. We don't know much other than they just arrive on this planet, inadvertently take plant specimens that happen to be the dominant species there, and then the Doctor takes one of them with him to sort things out.
Yeah.
They don't do much. The Verdants, in fact, Fledge, he's got a throne room with 3 thrones or chairs, and he's sat in one of them. Is too conveniently there for the Doctor and to sit in. I mean, I don't think a lot of thought's gone into it. It's just, I mean, this guy's got, I don't know how many text stories in a comic strip to produce here, so it's just like, first thing that comes into their head. I presume they were all men doing the annuals at this time.
I would assume so. Everything within the story is there to serve the story, and I don't mean that necessarily in a complimentary way.
No.
It's like they've got 3 chairs because there's 3 people there. There's no thought to what would a plant city look like.
They've got stairs. They've got a door. A chief executioner. What has that got to do with, what's this society like?
Yeah.
Where's the Big Finish spin-off to explain it?
It's a coming. How do you feel about the artwork?
It's good. It's not exciting, but it does the job. one thing that I've noticed, and again, this is in the TV comic Hartnell strips, is like the TARDIS doesn't look like the Metropolitan Police Box we know.
No.
And in fact, the roof, it looks, I don't know what the technical term is, but it looks sort of like it's a bigger slope.
Yeah.
It's a different shape. And again, maybe it didn't have, mind you, all over the country, police boxes were different for different police forces.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who one's just the London one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe the artist based it on the one where they were from. I mean, this was Manchester publishers, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
maybe.
never seen a Manchester one, so
No. I've certainly never seen a picture of a police box with quite a slanted roof. I do like the simplicity of the artwork. I mean, they capture Hartnell really well.
yes, some I recognise some from publicity photos, so that's good.
There's that one from Unearthly Child.
Yes,
He's looking a bit worse for wears, but they've used it as just
yeah,
the Doctor's day-to-day look, apparently.
yeah. That's the one. That's a close up on him, isn't it?
Yeah. The Rostros look like something out of a Star Trek annual,
Yeah.
to be honest, or even, an episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah, Todd, he's doing Star Trek the next day.
Yeah. The plants look cool enough, but I think the main thing here is, to be honest, if it wasn't a likeness of William Hartnell,
Yeah,
this would barely be Doctor Who at all.
definitely. There's nothing in it that's Doctor Who-ish. It could be Dan Dare. It could be Star Trek.
Yeah, you literally just have to replace Hartnell and the words Doctor Who, which are said about 3 times, and that is it.
Hey, speaking of a Doctor, do you think children were disappointed when they got this for Christmas? Because this came out after Regeneration.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, I suppose there's a little bit like, because nobody knew what was going to happen with the
Well,
regeneration.
exactly. These things are prepared probably before the summer, aren't they, to get them ready in time? So they wouldn't have known.
No, absolutely. I think this probably would have been slightly reassuring to the kids that perhaps the Doctor they knew and loved was going to come back.
That's true. The Troutman haters would have been happy with it.
The Not My Doctor crowd.
Yes, yes.
It's a simple story with simple
Yes.
artwork, and it's something from a bygone time. And even though annuals are still produced today with stories for children, they would never produce something like this, I don't think.
No, I think only really aimed at young children.
Yeah. Under 10s.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this story?
There's not much to say, really. I mean, I didn't hate reading it, but I didn't get anything from it as a reader.
You're not going to read the rest of the annual now based on this one story.
I skimmed through a couple of the other stories. I read one of them, and they're very simple. In fact, some of them were done for that Doctor Who audio annual that BBC, the BBC did. And I'm thinking, obviously, there's nostalgia for some fans that are older who grew up with these things, so good for them. But for me, it's just like I expected, sort of like Plan 9 from Outer Space, where you can laugh at it.
Yeah.
It's not even that level. It's just, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just,
Yeah. There are some that are so bad they're funny. This,
oh yeah,
I mean, this has got some amusing moments, and we've had a good old giggle.
oh yeah, it has.
But it's not Plan 9 level, as you say.
No, I love Plan 9 from Outer Space, by the way.
Me too. Me too. Well, look, fantastic. Thank you for joining me today, John.
Thank you.
I'll be back tomorrow with another guest to talk about another annual story. But until then, I've been Dylan.
I've been John.
And this has been Doctor Who, Too Hot for TV, the Advent Calendar. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Doctor Who, too hot for TV.
Incidentally, a happy Christmas to all of you at home.